Hello, my name is Agatha, and this is your love forecast for the year 2017. And before we jump to your sign, let me explain a few things. You can see your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, but you can also do another thing. Oh, by the way, I'm going to write about this. It's going to be like a longer forecast, which you can purchase. Then I'll leave all the links when I'm done through Smashwords, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Amazon, all sorts of places. You can purchase these readings, a bit longer readings. And I'm gonna do this slowly, so I'm sorry if you immediately do not see your sign. It's because I'm going to do this, bit by bit, and I'm not going to wait until I have all the 12 signs. So before we move on to your sign, you can do the following. You can write in a paper like this and write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the 12 months, okay? And then you can have this. You can do this and this. Okay, you can have a hat if you like. I have a hat, but you can have any other thing, and then you can, just do a little this cut every month or every number. You could cut them, and you can put them on this hat. Put them on the hat, okay, or any other thing, and you can tell your guardian angel, please choose for me which is the most relevant month for me. Which is the message within this reading that I'm seeing, which is the message within which is the most relevant month for me. Okay? Guardian angel, please help me. Don't look, and just pick and then see what is the number that came out for you. Let's say number 11. So you pick November, okay? You don't pick November, you see the whole reading, but pay extra attention to November. As you did this for the month, you can do the same with the sun signs. This is my writing, it's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful, my writing? Do the same. So you have like here, you have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. You can cut them up again, like I'm doing. I'm cutting, I'm cutting this, and you can ask the same. Let's say you have a Scorpio sun, a Sagittarius moon, and a Capricorn rising, for instance, and you see all of them, but you decide, and you can decide this more connected. If you're seeing your sun sign, you could pick any sign you're reading, but you do this once and you say, okay, guardian angel, what is the message in all the sun signs? What is the message in terms of love that most apply to me for the year 2017? It doesn't matter if you are the signs which I mentioned. Let's say that you pick, okay? You don't see, and then you pick, and let's say that the sign that comes up for you is Libra, and you have no Libra, for instance. You can see Libra as well, okay, as an additional message, okay? If it's a sign which you have already seen, if it's your moon sign, your Scorpio, your rising sign, your sun sign, okay. But if it's another sign, no, you can see that as well, okay? This is just an idea. You do whatever you like. And that's it. I hope you have a great love year. Bye-bye. Hello, Leo. This is your love tarot forecast for the year 2017. This is going to be 12 cards and 1 card for each month. I'm going to use the Lover's Path Tarot, which is beautiful. And let's start with January 2017, Leo. But before that, I'm going to show you something which I think it's amazing. Has no esoterical meaning. I just think it's pretty, and I want to show you. This is in Portuguese you call it anis estrelado. So this is, I don't know how to say this, but it's a tea. It has several of these, and you use it in tea, and it smells real good, and it was really expensive, and I've never seen it before, and I've tried it today. It's and it really tastes well, and it's I like it. Let's start. Leo, for January 2017, you have the 10 of staves or 10 of wands in traditional decks. It could be. I would read this because it's the 10. To me, it's the end. It's the end of a passion. It's the end. It's a passion that has burnt out. No more passion. No more passion. The relationship has come to an ending because there's no more passion. For some. For others, is recognizing that what keeps you together, if you are with someone else, it's no longer passion that there's something else that keeps you together. Then all the passion that you needed to live, you've lived it. If you are single, it's also a realization to yourself that passion is no longer important in what you want from a partner. And then in February 2017, Leo, you have contemplation. You have 6 major arcana cards and 12 cards. So half of these cards are trumps, no pun intended. Meaning that for some of you, maybe half, maybe more, maybe less, it depends. It might be a very big transformative year in love matters. So you might be ending something, you might be starting something important. So you have the first arcana, major arcana card in February 2017, which is the Hermit card. Here is named Contemplation. If something is ended in January 2017, you're contemplating about it. You're trying to find the spiritual meaning. You're trying to find, trying to seek knowledge within that relationship. You're contemplating that relationship, and the purpose of that contemplation of that relationship is to seek knowledge within you that makes sense to you, that helps you that will help you guide you in your path, even in terms of love. Or you are expressing yourself creatively. So you might be writing about that passion that ended, or that love affair that ended, that relationship that ended, writing, painting, making music about it. If even the nature of what you think it's important in a love relationship has changed, nothing ended, like you were single and you were still single in January 2017, but you reached the realization that passion is no longer important in a long-term partnership, trying to find within yourself in February a deeper understanding of what love should be, or what you seek in love, even in spiritual terms, even spiritually. So it's like a spiritual contemplation of what love is to you now. And you're going within, you're not going outside, you're going within. What do I want out of love? What do I seek? Something like that. You might be using creative expression or not. If you are with someone, it might be that you might feeling a bit alone, a bit lonely. For whatever reason, let's say that there is a burden, because the 10 of staves is also that. There is a burden connected with your love relationship that you have to endure. It doesn't matter if you don't want it, you have to endure. What is that burden? Let's say your spouse has developed some sort of illness and you have to put up with that burden. mental illness, physical illness, not forever. Okay, there's some. I'm going to give you an example of another burden. Let's say that now your mother-in-law has to move in with you because there's no other way. They not necessarily forever, but for a while, and this is a burden you have to put up with in January 2017, and you know that you cannot talk with your spouse about it. Yeah, your spouse loves his mother or her mother, and you go within and you express your feelings creatively. It could be that as well. And then in March 2017, you have another major arcana card, the Moon. In here, it's called the Illusion, and it talks about Ivan and Odette. This is the story of the Swan Lake, the ballet Swan Lake. I think in the ballet, the Swan Lake, the name of the prince is not Ivan, but the story goes that Odette, I think she is a princess, I should check it out, and she is cursed, and she turns into a swan, and the only way of breaking that curse is with true love. And then Ivan, or the prince, meets her and really falls in love with her and promises to marry her, and he wants to keep that promise, but he's misled, I think, by the witch or the sorcerer who put the curse on Odette, and he doesn't get to Odette in time, and she dies. Okay, so this could be promises that are not kept. It could be in March of 2017 you realize that someone has been lying to you, someone has been telling you stories that are not true. It could be that someone has been deceiving you on purpose, some secret comes to the light. Or it could be that promises are not kept, not because the person who made them didn't want to keep them, but he or she, by the forces of circumstances, could not keep those promises, but he or she had every intention of keeping those promises. So it could be that someone gets in the way of your relationship. So it might be deceiving, it might be something else, it might be also in a more positive way. If you are with someone, you are connecting intuitively and psychically with your spouse or your partner. If you are not with someone in a negative way, reading this card, it could be that you're feeling a bit paranoid, very sad, overwhelmed with sadness and depression, thinking I'm going to be alone forever, no one's going to love me, and blah blah blah, and you're feeling like this. Or in a more positive way, even if you're single, you might be connecting in your dreams, let's say with your soulmate or with your life partner or whomever. You might be having very vivid dreams about this person. You might be connecting with him or her in a psychic level. You might be even asking to have dreams with him or her, for instance. And then in April 2017, Leo, you have the Three of Arrows, which is the Three of Swords in traditional decks. Now, for some, it might be connected with the Illusion card. So some of you might have been had illusions about the relationship that you were involved in, and those illusions are broke in March or even in April, and this causes you extreme sadness, and there's a very big feeling of betrayal. Your partner has betrayed you. It might be even a third person, because this is a 3. Or you might feel that you betrayed yourself with your illusions, and you've deceived yourself, and you might come to the understanding that it was an illusion that you chose to have. But there's again this feeling, this overwhelming feeling of extreme sadness. I'm never going to find anyone. I'm going to be alone forever. So there's that feeling. And then in May 2017, you have the Prince of Staves, or the Prince of Wands in traditional decks. The Knight. I think it's the Knight of Wands in traditional decks. Now, for those who are single, there might come into your life a person, Leo. This might be you as well, but we'll get to that. This person might be from a fire sign like you, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Might be younger, up to the age of 30. Or if this person could be a man or a woman, because this is a general reading. If it's not up to the age of 30, this person could be older, but might have very, very young way of looking at life. This person, he or she, might be very enthusiastic about life, very impulsive, not very mature. Okay, not very mature. You might be a 50-year-old boy or girl. This person might be very passionate about you, but this person might not want to have a long-term relationship with you. He or she just might want to have like a month relationship with you. Or it could be you. It could be you. You felt betrayed, for instance, for whatever reason, or you felt overwhelmed with despair, connected with thinking about your love life or lack of your love life. So you just decide to adopt a more enthusiastic way of behaving, a more passionate way of behaving, and you just, start dating a lot, or you approach someone in a very passionate way, but maybe you might have no intention of having a long-term relationship with whomever you approach. Or if you're married or are in a long-term relationship, both of you might have in May 2017, it might be like a travel. You might have a romantic trip, just the two of you. If you have kids, no kids, just the two of you. You might be very passionate towards each other. You might be very romantic towards each other. You might be trying out new things, when I say new things, it could be something as simple as trying out a new different type of restaurant, trying a new food, something like that. Going to see a different movie, going to the theater, whatever. Having joy with each other, just, And then in June 2017, Leo, you have the Justice card. So it might be a month where you're very diplomatic with the other person, with the person with whom you are with. If there's any type of conflict, you or your spouse decide not to tackle that conflict like head on. You just kind of decide to use diplomacy. It's just better to keep the peace, because having a peaceful environment in relationship might be important for you, Leo, for you both in June 2017. It could be that. For others, it could be a karmic love. A karmic love that comes back. Now, this person, someone from your past. Now, your past can be this lifetime, or it could literally be from another lifetime. If there is such a thing, I have no idea. I'm just giving you all possible examples, giving you all possible interpretations. I have no idea, okay? So it could be from someone whom you loved, and you've been waiting for him or her for a very long time, because this is the theme of Penelope and Ulysses. It's Odysseus, which is the Greek name of Ulysses. So Penelope is waiting for Ulysses, who's been gone for 20 years. She's a very patient woman, and he comes back, and they're happy, and he gets rid of all the other suitors. But so it's waiting and being rewarded by that waiting. So it could be an old love that comes back to your life, a karmic love, or a karmic love from a hypothetical past life. Okay, it could be that as well. If you're single, it could be that you try to have a more detached perception or perspective of what love is. You try to harmonize your emotions in connection with love. And then in July 2017, Leo, you have the Five of Staves, or the Five of Wands in traditional decks. Now, this could be that you might, if you are with someone, if you have a partner or a spouse, there's three people in this image. You might having difficulties with your spouse, with your partner, because there's a third wheel here. There's a third person that's butting in your relationship. Now, it could be not, I'm not talking about lover, it could be that, but not exactly. It could be like a friend, and your partner is always spending time with that friend. It doesn't give you enough time, and you want to go and do things together, and that friend has to, come along as well, and you're just kind of sick of it. Or it's your spouse that sees that you have a friend like a friend like that, or a coworker or a colleague, something like that, that keeps keeps being in a way. Or it could even be, I just thought of this, like a sibling. It could be a sibling as well. There's a third person that's causing trouble in the relationship, and you're having conflicts because of this third person. If there's no third person that is butting in, he or she might still have an influence in your life. So he or she might be taking actions or saying things that will cause trouble in your life, in your love relationship. So if you're single, you're thinking about all, you're having inner conflict because you're thinking about all the old relationships that you might have had, and maybe there's conflict with them, and you're thinking about them, and you're thinking, is it worth trying to find a new partner? Because all the relationships, or a few relationships you had, always there was always conflict, and I don't know if that's worth it. So you might be thinking that those sorts of thoughts in July 2017, Leo. And in August 2017, you have another major arcana card. You have tradition here, but in traditional decks, it's called Pope or the Hierophant. So some of you might decide, regardless of the conflict, and the conflict might have been because of that, to marry. Maybe you have a long-term relationship and you decide, okay, let's make it formal. And maybe one of you was asking the friend or the colleague or the coworker, me and my boyfriend or girlfriend, I'm sorry, we're thinking of getting married. What do you think? Oh, don't do it. And that's the source of the conflict, but it could be that. I'm just thinking. I'm just saying this is a scenario. I have no idea. I'm not a psychic. I have to say this because I don't think this... I'm not a psychic, okay? Not a psychic. I read the cards. That's all that I do. I read the cards. I interpret the cards. Or I read the chart, the astrological chart. A psychic, I would say, might from time to time need an instrument, but sometimes they need no instrument. They just go and channel directly. I don't do that. And I'm really grateful that I don't do that. I'm really, really, really grateful that I don't do that. I prefer to have these instruments. I really do. To me, there's a sense of security because I don't want my spirit to be that open. I don't. I really like the walls between me and the invisible world. I like the walls and I want them there. Okay? So, continuing, Leo, in August 2017, you have the tradition card. So you might decide, okay, let's get married. Maybe you're like the source of the conflict with your spouse or your partner was, we've been together for 10 years. We need to get married because of this, this, and this. For tax reasons, because your son or your daughter, the parents are not married, and blah, 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 blah. And we need to have safety, so we need to get married. It could be that, like either you're badgering your partner or your partner is badgering you. And okay, fine, let's get married. Let's have like a traditional ceremony in August 2017. Or it could even be not, maybe you are formally married in terms of the civilian. Is it civilian? I don't know how to say this. In Portuguese, it's conservatoria. So you go there and you pay and you get married and that's it. And there's the religious marriage that if you have the religious marriage but you don't have the other one, which is, I don't know, the civil or secular marriage, you're not married. You're married in the eyes of whatever God you have, but it's not sufficient. It used to be in Portugal. It used to be because both things were connected. We had, and this is story time. I'm sorry to be bothering you, but I want to tell this story. We had in Portugal had a dictatorship, a right-wing dictatorship for almost 50 years, and it ended in 1974. I never experienced that dictatorship because I was born in France. I was not born in Portugal. I was born in 1973 in France, and I only the first time that my being set foot in Portugal was after the revolution. The revolution happened in 25th of April 1974, and I visited with my parents Portugal when I was 8 or 9 months old in May of 1974. I never experienced dictatorship. That's not part of my reality. I never lived it. My parents lived it. Their parents lived it. I never lived it. So when I hear stories, I'm like, what? Yeah, what? That is weird. That's weird stories connected with dictatorship in Portugal. And then, if you were married, the majority of Portugal was and still is Catholic. So if you're married in the church, it's automatically you are also married in the other way. It's formal. It's official. Okay, it's official. Now it's not. Okay, it needs to be religious. Is important because of the family, and it depends also because I've went to several types of marriages with I've went to a Catholic within my family. I went to a Catholic, well, not one but several Catholic marriages, which is in the church. But I also went to a non-Catholic, but a Christian but not Catholic wedding. I went to another one where it was non-religious. And the person who I think that I told this story before. The person who I think in Portuguese is called conservador. I think it's conservador. It's the official guy, the official person who marries you in the eyes of the law. And this person might travel from place to place with the books, and you sign the books. And it's not a priest, okay? So I went to another one. It's different, but during dictatorship, it was the church, and that's it, okay? So if you're not Christian, if you're not Catholic, I don't exactly know how that works. I need to research that. And you're not allowed, if you're Catholic, to only have if I'm not mistaken, a secular or civil marriage. In Spain, which was a dictatorship as well, they had to do a horrible thing. If let's say you're an atheist and you don't want to be married in the church, you had to do a horrible thing. You have to, in Portuguese, the word is abjurar. I don't know if this happened in Portugal as well, but in Spain it did. You had to abjurar your own religion in order to be allowed to only have a civil wedding, which I think it's a horrible thing to do. Even if you're an atheist, I think this is horrible, okay? This is a very long story, I'm sorry, but hey, it's an opportunity to learn. So, this could be like you've married for a very long time, civil wedding, but then you have the religious wedding in August 2017. To join all the family. It's an opportunity to have all the family together. For instance, at least in Portugal, August is like the big traditional holiday month. It could be that. It could be if you're single. And if you come from a culture where traditionally, a very traditional culture, where traditionally your parents or your family are the ones involved in finding you a spouse, in finding you a partner, you might go, or your family, I'm thinking it's more you that goes to your family, that goes to your parents, your aunts and uncles, and kind of begs them Can you help me find a partner, a wife or a husband or something like that? Maybe you've tried the other way, the more individual way of trying to find a partner, a life partner, and you had no luck. And now you go to your family. Can you help me find a partner, a husband, a wife? Maybe you are in between worlds. Maybe you are in between, I'm saying Western world, but it could be another world. I'm saying more Western world, but I might be wrong, okay? So please don't be offended. But you might be more like a more, what do you say? You might live a life where you make your own decisions and your own choices, okay? And you don't want your parents that come from a traditional type of culture to make such a big decision for you. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you want to choose for yourself. And maybe you're allowed to choose for yourself. It doesn't matter if you live in a Western country or if you live in a non-Western country. Maybe you have that space. Maybe that space is allowed to you for you to make your decisions, for you to make your own choice in terms of finding a life partner. But then you've searched and things didn't work out and you just kind of give up and you go to your family, or can we go the traditional route? Can you find me a partner? It could be that. It could be also a realization, Leo, in August 2017, that you're more conservative than you thought you were. And that doesn't even, that even applies even if you're gay. Even if you're gay, you understand that, oh my God, I do want a traditional family. I do want those traditional roles, that you're traditional, you're conservative in your point of view, even if you're gay. And I'm not saying that you'd prefer to marry a woman, no, or a man. Let's say you're a gay man. When I say you're conservative, it doesn't mean you're going to go out and find a woman. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that that is just kind of a blip in your personality. You're gay, big deal. Pff, who cares? The rest of your personality is I'm conservative. You might come to the realization that you like traditional values. You like tradition. You're conservative. You're a traditionalist. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. So that could be another way of reading this card, and I'm talking too much. 28 minutes. And then in September 2016, Leo, you have the Six of Staves or the Six of Wands in traditional decks. Now, how can this be read? This could be read in many different ways. Let's say you have a partner, a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, a long-term partner. You might be very proud of whatever your partner has accomplished. You might be very proud. You might be even parading him around or her. So you might be very proud of the partner that you have. He looks good. He is very successful. He just got this big promotion, or she looks amazing. She's beautiful. She's successful. She's this. She's that. I'm so glad that every man envies my wife. It could be that, or your partner might be the one who's parading you around, who's really proud of whatever you've accomplished. There's like a very sense of pride. Yeah, that's my wife, or that's my husband. This is important to a Leo. This is really important to a Leo. This is extremely important to a Leo. Pride. And sensing that others are jealous that you got this wonderful woman, or you got this wonderful guy. Oh, that's a very big, that's like, gives you like a sense of accomplishment and joy, like something warm inside of you, like, yeah, I got her or him and you didn't. And everyone envies you, and that's really something extremely important. You really need to feel that towards your spouse. You really need to feel that you're proud of him or her. You cannot have shame connected with your spouse. You cannot be embarrassed by him or her. You cannot go to a family gathering or to a function or an event or party and be afraid and be embarrassed of introducing your partner. You really need to be proud of him or her. It could be that. Another way of reading this. This is also a sense of pride and arrogance if you're single. If you're single, maybe people are seeing you as way too proud, way too arrogant, unapproachable. No one approaches you because, oh my God, that person is so arrogant. That person thinks that. In Portuguese, we have an expression. It's called pensa que tem o rei na barriga. He or she thinks that he has the king in his stomach. Like, has a very good opinion, way too good opinion of himself or herself. So no one approaches you because of that, because you're very proud. Like, that's one of the things connected with Leo. They could be extremely arrogant sometimes. There's a very strong sense of pride with Leo, and sometimes toward even to their own detriment. And people don't approach them because of that. So you might be viewed like that, or you might come across someone, if you're single, who is like that. And this person might be from a fire sign, might be a Leo like you, might be a Sagittarius or an Aries. Like this strong sense of accomplishment. This person has achieved so much in his life or her life, and has this and that, and is talented, and everyone recognizes his accomplishments or her accomplishments, and this person might be looking at you like you're not good enough for him or her, and you're a Leo and you don't like that. Okay, so it might be a problem like that. It could be that as well. Now, if your parents, if you come from a traditional background and you asked and you begged, not necessarily, or maybe your parents in August 2017, they approached you and said, son, daughter, you're over 40, you really need to get married. Can we find you a husband or a wife? If your parents, I'm just making this, I give you a scenario, it doesn't mean, it could be 20 and watching my video. Maybe your family approached you, maybe you approached your family and, find me a spouse, find me a partner. And they did. In September, they're introducing someone to you. And to their point of view, this is a wonderful person. This is a very accomplished person. This is a very successful person. But you're looking at him or her and you're kind of, no. You might have that feeling of, oh, no. Or that person, or you like him or her, and you go like, oh yeah, I like him, I like her. But they might be looking at you like, no. Again, that sense of pride gets in the way, that arrogance gets in the way of, you're too good for this guy or this person. There's no way I'm going to have a relationship with him or her. Or that person might be looking at you in that way. Like, I'm not her, him, no. It could be that. It could be all sorts of things. So it could be a negative way, it could be a positive way. So in October 2017, you have the Sacrifice card, or the Hangman in traditional decks. It's another major arcana card. There might be a sacrifice involved connected with love. If you are with someone, you might have a sacrifice, make a sacrifice in his or her benefit, or your partner might make a sacrifice in your benefit. If you are single, you might sacrifice something of what you wanted out of love. Maybe you had a list, 10-page list, and you have to revise that list, and I don't, maybe I can give up this idea and that idea and that idea and that idea. Another way of reading this, you either, if you've been with someone for a very long time or you just started a relationship, someone might be asking you to make a sacrifice that will end the relationship. It could be that as well. And maybe some of you will not have the enough strength to say no, because they will be asking, or you will be asking, you are the one who's asking the other person to make a sacrifice of something which is really important to him or her, and they will not be strong enough to say no, and that is the thing that will end this relationship. So you have to be very wary of that. You can ask certain things or you can be asked certain things, but you cannot ask something that will axe the relationship itself. It could be an unbearable sacrifice that will end this relationship itself. And then in November 2016, you have another major arcana card, which is wisdom. In traditional decks is called the High Priestess. This is the power of feminine intuition. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. The power of the feminine inside of you, hidden in the occult. Using this power, the feminine power, to heal someone. And this is healing done with healing the human soul. If you know the story of Scheherazade in 1001 Nights, she healed the person whom she married, because this person, the guy, was heartbroken, and he would marry, and he swore not to fall in love again and never to be deceived by a woman again. So how did he solve that problem? He would marry a woman, would spend the night with her, and then the next day he would have her executed. He would have her killed. So Scheherazade decided to be the next wife to end this, and during 3 years she told him stories, and these stories healed his soul and healed his heart, and he ended up falling in love with her. So it could be your feminine powers, hidden, subtle feminine powers that help heal a relationship, help heal someone, help heal your partner. Or your partner is the one who's using this feminine power, doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, to help heal you or to help heal the relationship. Or something hidden can come to the light connected with the relationship. Or if you're single, you're studying about love, you're reading books about love, relationships, about love itself. You're reading fiction books about love stories. You're educating yourself in terms of love, what love is, and you may be keeping it hidden. But it's a very subtle month. And then finally, also I can read this card. In October there is a sacrifice for love, and in November you got the wisdom. You understand. You got the wisdom from that sacrifice. So you went inside of yourself, you analyzed everything, and you are more wise because of that sacrifice, because you understood it on a more spiritual level. On December 2017, Leo, 38 minutes, oh my god, you have the 8 of Cups. So some of you might be living a relationship that's no longer working, and you might giving it a try one last time. In December 2017, you're trying your best one last time, but this relationship will not revive. It's dead. Or if you are with someone, but there's an ending to an old way of living this relationship, and maybe you decide to leave your old wounds behind connected with your partnership. Maybe your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend hurt you, and you make a conscious decision to leave that past behind and to move on, in a more healthy way, and to continue to live your life with your spouse, with your partner, and just abandoning old wounds behind and not looking back. You're taking a last look, but then you just will release them. If you are single, you might be doing the same thing. You might be releasing old wounds behind, old wounds from the past. You might be analyzing old relationships and what worked out in them and what didn't work out in them. It's like taking a last look, but then you'll move on, and you have the wisdom to move on with your life and to be open to love and to love in a different way and to leave old wounds behind in the past, okay, and to advance to a new future in terms of your love life. 40 minutes, more than 40 minutes, actually 44, something like that. Okay, Leo, this is the reading that I have for you, your love forecast for the year 2017. This is a very general reading. If you'd like a private consultation, please send an email to dunyazade@gmail.com and I'd be delighted to work with you. Bye-bye.